Hey again, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and if you want to become a favorite family member or a favorite goodie, all you have to do is go ahead and turn on your post notifications. So as you guys can see by the title, today we are slaying this hair. Girl, I have been on about this hair. If you follow me on Instagram, if you're not, stop what you're doing and go ahead and do that. If you follow me on Instagram, you know, like about a month ago I had this blonde hair and I was asking you guys what color you think I should do it, or what color you think I'm going to do it, and here I am finally now delivering you with this color. And of course, if you're a real one, you know that this is my favorite color, so you probably knew that my first colored hair video would be purple or lavender. So yeah, so if you want to see how I got this color and then how I installed and slayed this wig, definitely keep on watching. Okay, so the first thing that I did was spray my lace with some Got2b freeze blasting spray. Now you could use this or you could use Vaseline. To me, I found that this did not really work that well because my lace was totally stained afterwards, but it didn't make a difference because of the root color. So if you're gonna do this, definitely use Vaseline. Next, I'm separating the frontal from the bundles because we are going to do roots. So this is the color that I chose, and it is a medium smoky ash blonde, and it has this kind of like jelly consistency. So I mixed that with some 30 volume developer, and then I got to dyeing. Now initially I was kind of scared because it came out like kind of gray, but then I realized that was just the application, and as you leave it, it'll darken. So I started applying some saran wrap, but you really don't need to do it. You can do it if you have OCD and you really want it to be really neat, but you don't need to do it. And this applicator brush is definitely better than a toothbrush. I'd say go for a toothbrush if you're literally just doing your hairline, but just be careful because when you're applying the root color, it definitely will get on like stray strands or flyaways, I should say. It would get on flyaways, so you want to keep a tissue nearby so you can kind of wipe that off so you don't have like patches of hair throughout that's just brown. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Apply it on both sides, and here you see it darkened up. It's not giving that grayish funny color anymore. So the key to dyeing hair is just to be patient. Just be patient. And I was just going back through to make sure that I didn't have any spots that were not covered in the dye. So this is how it came out, and I was pretty happy with the results. The next time I do roots, I definitely will go for a darker color, but out of the 5 beauty supply stores that I went to, this was the only color that they had, so I had to settle for this, and it came out pretty good. So the color that I'm using is Ion Color Brilliance and the Arctic Fox dye. Now this tutorial is not really a tutorial, but this was kind of tricky. Now I knew that I wanted a light kind of pastel color, so that's why I went with the Ion Color Brilliance, and I really focused that on the frontal. Now if you're going to do this and you want this color throughout your hair, you are really gonna have to stock up on this color Brilliance. I would suggest probably about 6 to do an entire wig, and I did use 3 bundles. Was it 3 or 2? I think it was 3 bundles and a frontal, so the density was pretty high, but I focused the Ion Color Brilliance on the frontal, and I did use a little bit of VO5 conditioner just to stretch it a little bit because it was not going to it was not going to stretch throughout the entire wig. So here you see I'm applying the VO5 conditioner. But what I found with this is it kind of diluted the dye, so it was, I don't know if this will make sense to you guys, but it wasn't really sticking to the hair. The more conditioner I used, it was kind of hard to dye the hair. So if you're going for this lavender color, you definitely want to use just the color on its own, not necessarily too much conditioner. So yeah, I got the frontal into this kind of pastel color, and then I was happy with that. And then I'm just going in with my fingers to dye any strands that, you know, may have gotten away that didn't get the purple dye. Now I'm gonna move on to the back. So my goal with this wig was to have like different shades, different hues of purple throughout the entire wig. I did not just want a flat color. So here you're seeing that I'm gonna use like the streaking technique. If you guys ever did like highlights or streaks in your hair, you know, you kind of just push the comb through and through the hair, kind of like I just did, and then separate it. So I separated it and I put a piece of saran wrap beneath it, and then I'm gonna dye this with the Arctic Fox dye. Now that dye is super rich in color. It's like a purple fuchsia kind of color. It's very rich. Purple Rain is the color. So I wanted this to be like the highlights of the hair. So that's what I'm doing. So for every bit of highlights that I do, then I'll go under it with the Ion Color Brilliance. And throughout the wig, I did mix the Ion Color Brilliance with a little bit of the Purple Rain to darken it up. So it's not just streaks that you're seeing, it's a kind of mixture. Like I said, this is not really a tutorial. This is just me showing you guys what I did, because that Ion Color Brilliance is a very pastel color. So this is what it looks like afterwards, and here are my hands, girl. I'm just over it. So this process took me probably a couple hours, probably about 3 hours. As you guys can see right here, the hair is like hard, it's like crunchy. So I washed it out, and this is the finished result. So for my tweezing, I just section off the hair and kind of go randomly back and forth. Yeah, so I section one part, go back and forth, comb out the hair that I tweezed, and then I do another part and go a little bit further back. That was very hard to explain. So I just section off one part, tweeze, comb out the hair that I tweezed, and then I go a little bit backwards so that it has a gradient effect. You guys watch tons of tutorials on tweezing, I'm sure. So your goal here is just to not have such a bulky hairline. And when you're doing this, try not to stay in one section, because you do not want to have a bald spot after paying so much money for a frontal. So here is what the tweeze side looks like versus the side that I haven't tweezed as yet. As you guys can see, is a very natural gradient kind of effect. It's not over plucked, it's just right. So after that, I went ahead and I tweezed the other parts, and then I'm curling. So I just kind of dropped some loose curls into the wig. Because of the humidity outside right now, it did not stay, so I kind of got like a bump, and it turned out a little bit straight after a while with a little bump, which was totally okay with me. But if you guys want, you know, tighter curls, definitely go for a smaller curling iron or a curling wand. But that's what I did for now, girl. So moving on to cutting off the excess lace, I start by cutting off the ear tabs, and I do this by just centering the wig in my head, which ensures that I don't have more lace on the left side or more lace on the right side. It's even. And then after I cut off one ear tab, then I go into the center, and I find that cutting it with a razor like this is a lot easier than cutting it with the scissors, and it gives it a more realistic look, because with the razor you get a jagged cut versus with the scissors it's more straight. This, my friends, is the look of feeling accomplished. Yes. So I'm showing you right here that I added a little bit of foundation to the edges of the wig, and I also added the elastic band. Now I may move this elastic band to the actual frontal. I may actually sew it onto the frontal in the future, but I was a bit scared because the frontal is Swiss lace, so it's very, very thin and fragile, so it's probably very easy to rip. Now we're gonna do some baby hair magic. So I do this by using the Got To Be freeze blasting spray. So what I'm doing right now is just spraying it on my finger and then applying it to the hair, and then using an edge brush to create swoops. So as you guys can see, there are definitely a lot of different hues and a lot of different shades of purple throughout the entire wig, and the roots look very, very natural. So now I'm just gonna add some more big curls into the hair. And I did try to show you guys how it would look in the center part, but I really wasn't feeling that. I'm not really a center part kind of girl, so I just left it on the side. But you definitely can put it in the center if you want. Comment below and let me know if you knew that I was coming with purple. I feel like if you're a real one, you know that's my favorite color, so you know that's what I was going to do first. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it and learned something. Check out my last video right here, a playlist of all hair related videos right there. Subscribe to me by clicking my face, and I'll definitely see you guys in the next one. Remember to be completely you, slay your hair, girl, and love yourself. Bye.